Good morning, everybody. We've got a half day today. Ooh, fucking opening candle. Aggressive. Hmm. Oh, shit, they work. Cool. All right. Hey, Gherk, what's with costs? I don't know. What's going on with costs? Is it ripping? Nice. Let me see. It still looks like an illiquid piece of shit with no options chain. How much do you hate your money? You want to play it? What the fuck? Slow down. Good morning. Like the stream. Yeah, do that. That's cool. If the VN is still 55.17-ish, shouldn't that act as a top since they can't sell puts above it? Well, not only they can sell puts above it, but the MM is going to be selling above it, right? Like actively. Nothing stops them from selling puts there. So making up your own rules, AJ. Speaking of rules, do I now have that information? Because it's morning time. No. Fantastic. Nope. Nope. Oh, son of a bitch. Got some moon vans on deck. I actually have no idea. Talk to a girl did an interview on YouTube. Oh, Jesus. Okay, she's getting too famous. The market wants to go to 1 billion. Yeah, maybe. Although I feel like NQ looks a little weak, right? Oh, poor GoEV. Ruined. What the fuck is that? Was Huh. Strange. 1 second. Alright. It's fixed. That's the most basic of basic assumptions that I'm talking about pumpies. Yes, they can sell puts, but they can't pump by selling puts. Oh, no. You're kind of, you're just looking at it wrong. By selling puts, they push the longer puts. Theoretically, they could still pump by selling puts. They would just need to either sell them in the money, or they would have to buy calls in excess of the number of puts sold. So jobless up, continuing jobless up, market up. Yeah, I mean, no one gives a shit about the jobless claims being slightly up. Challenger cuts were down, and ADP was pretty flat. Also, balance of trade was not good. Balance of the trade deficit is broadening. Widening. Widening. Has Tesla ever been this overbought? Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? Any play left there? What, in Siri? I don't know. You could try. It's still got a dividend, right? Yeah. There's like an overnight gap in data or something. What the fuck is wrong with that? Yeah, it's been getting some pumpies. It's doing pretty good, actually. Looks like it's still paying out 3.5%, roughly. It kind of looks like there's just some interest in it going into its earnings. When are their earnings? August, maybe. Yeah, I don't think I would expect them to beat or anything. They are like margins were. I thought they guided down and margins were falling. Yeah, margins were falling last quarter, and they guided down a little bit. Analysts are expecting them to beat the prior quarter despite them guiding down. Uh, Technically, it looks bullish though. There's nothing but shitloads of sold calls on the chain, so that's I could get a little squeezy. Since it's been a car company though, yeah. But like 2021 on Tesla was fucking nuts. Are you expecting AVGO upside range to hit over 1700 on the weekly? No? I suppose it could, but I was kind of expecting it to stay a little bit below 1700 during the week. The September Tesla puts are going up as the price rises. All right. Seeing a bunch of Dollar General stores pop up here in Tennessee. No joke, 6 within a 20-minute drive. Is this healthy? It seems like they're going down the same path as Subway's with way too many stores. Yeah, except Subway is a franchise, right? So they don't they don't necessarily care if the stores are successful as long as they get paid by people to open them. Puma Composite 54.8, Services 55.3. Ooh, spicy. So both of them coming in a little hotter. ISM is going to be more important, but that's probably a decent indicator of where ISM is going to land. I don't know if Siri got any news. It's just moving up. GME is getting a little bit of a runner here too. Most of the memes should be running right now. This is the ETF FTD period, right? I don't know how much covering we're going to have with the half day and the holiday today, but over the next, like, well, one trading day left in the week, we should We should see the rest of the ETF FTDs settle out. Siri has those Twitter guys that got arrested back a while ago pumping it. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I saw something about that. Like Zach Morris and all of them. I don't think that they've really got a chance of pumping it. It's got a 500 million share float. Oh, EPAM, you bitch. Go back up. What's IWM doing? So up a little overnight and then falling now. SPX is pushing 55.15. We've got ISM services data in 12 minutes. NVIDIA's still moving down. Maybe FSLR is getting a little accumulation. Tesla's still massively above Gamma Max. If it's going to break up here or fail. It's looking pretty good. Back at 680. Is Zach Morris still pumping Fubo? I have no idea. I don't know what he fucking talks about. Does it look like puts on Tesla for September are being bought pretty heavy? You know, I'd love to help you, but I don't think our data is updated yet. No. Why data broken? I have no idea. I think null values in the database, and we wiped them and trying to repopulate it. Anything interesting happen if Beyond breaks 701? Do you need a DBA? No, no. Let's... Oh, interesting. So what? SIBO didn't issue an end of day report? What the fuck? Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. I mean, I think we should just keep hammering at it until everything populates, right? Hmm. What's Fubo doing? Nothing, but its options are pricing up. Netflix is being annoying. What is it? What's this? Services PMI hit is super bullish? No, price hasn't changed since the services data came out. The market's probably just waiting on ISM. Usually people don't give a shit about S&P like PMIs. I mean this in the most serious way. Does downside exist? Yeah. I mean, it's really risky in the short term for it to move down though, right? Like Vega exposure on the SPXW hit all-time highs again last night. Huh. Well, that's fucking poop. Can we just pull that from somewhere else? Sorry. If ISM PMI is high, that's bad, right? Yeah, yeah, I bet. Mostly service prices is what people are going to be looking at. That's what's gonna matter most. Oh, It's not wide enough. Ooh, nice. I figured out how to do bracket orders. Also, WeBull has bracket orders. It's go time. I'm gonna burn through so much money on commissions. Good morning, AQ and mooning, and I am gooning. Gherk is booming. Nice, Greg. Very. How's Canada today? Does it even matter if it keeps hitting ATM high almost every week, sometimes every day? What? Remember when I said they needed small caps to pump to move this higher? I was wrong. I mean, whoever thought that we'd see like core 1M at like 5, right? Does a bracket order on a position stop you from separately closing the position manually? No, no, no. You can adjust the brackets once you've entered the position. So, like, I don't really want to enter one here, but if I were to, would I be willing to like short 70? Okay, maybe just go 75, right? So it just places, whoa, what in the motherfucking shit was that? Oh, ISM PMIs came out. Rough. Huh. Oh, holy shit. Services PMI 48.8? Fuck. That's a big hit. Business activity 49.6. Services employment 46. New orders 47.3. Services prices back in 56.3. Stagflation. Can you explain what these ISM numbers mean? It looks like ISM services contracted or is now in contraction after let's see. Did we fall into contraction at any point since the steepest decline since December of 2022? Yet prices are still very elevated. Also, factory orders negative 0.5. Factory orders X transportation negative 0.7. Business activity has dropped severely. Down to 49.6 points from the prior month's 61.2. And the lowest value since March of 2022 or 2020, sorry. So since the COVID crash, rapid onset. I want rapid onset recession. Let's go. Regardless, they will pump it. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Futures sold off really fucking hard on that print. But yeah, probably just fucking pump it because why not? I don't really think bulls are in a position to lose 5,500 here, so I wouldn't expect them to let the price slip much if they can avoid it. Yeah, sub 5,500. There's not there's no significant calls anywhere. So they really need to hold on to this level. That's bad though. That's a rough fucking print. GME's starting to push towards 25. Top fall back. Fubo's moving up a little. Ooh. All right. Hmm. What's up, Dork? The data's back. Oh, cool. Nice. Uh, is it? Still got nothing for 7 too. Oh, okay. You fucking tease. Normally beyond 650C down 20% with this move up. Well, I assume that you bought weeklies while IV was elevated. That's what that sounds like. Who's a fucking tease? Our provider. All right. Well, you know. Yeah, that's fair. Dork, is the dollar gonna crash? Ooh, hold on. All right, well, actual bullshit. All right. Tesla propping things up again, I see. Yeah, well, we're getting pretty close to the trend test on ES, which is at around 58, 55.83. I wonder if that's where we're going to find a cap on this. But it looks like NQ is starting to fail. Holy shit, that option's cheap. Yeah, I know it's a half day. Momentum starting to fall off a little bit. Quite a bit on longer time frames. We still haven't tested the prior high, which is weird. I don't know if that's what we're pushing for here. There's not a ton of upside room. We got to ramp out to like 25, 30. Delta's pretty positive. But there are some call sellers coming in. Ooh, big rejection on Apple. The video doesn't look so hot. How's breadth doing? Russell's up, but Dow's down. Well, Dow's not up much. But fund futures jumped a little bit. VIX is kind of creeping up. Hmm. Ooh, FSLR got a nice little bounce. Carvana bounced. 2371.50 was the prior high, right? Mm. Yeah, AVGO is bouncing also. AVGO 10-1 split soon. Yep. The 15th, I think. I'm gonna eat so many sparklers. The coating alone is said to be poor man's caviar. No, no one's ever said that, Squamsk. Sorry for revealing your secret lair last week, Doric. I felt pretty bad about it. I ate some berries and I woke up riding a goose again. Huh. Did it have a saddle? Is this Japan intervening or just the dollar dying? It's the dollar dying. The services contraction while services prices are still elevated. And not just like a small contraction, right? It's the steepest contraction in services since like December 2022. Bullish. Not very. Oof. So if we lose 55.15 here. Ooh. Yeah, a bunch of the call side interest below 55.15 is pulling back. Not so much support as there was. That's some lowest since COVID. That seems healthy. Yeah, right? That's a fucking just collapsing services sector. AI is making so much money. Don't worry about it. Bad spot to short Tesla. If you have theta, it's probably not bad. It's way above gamma max. Although that could catch up to spot given how hard it's pumped. PAA? I don't remember this at all. Oh, nice. I don't know if it'll break its all-time high. This is the oil and gas pipeline company. Seems to be benefiting from the current rise in oil prices. I don't think oil prices are gonna fall too much. I think there's a lot of CTAs on crude that are gonna probably get squeezed. So yeah, it might keep going. What's the lowest you've seen GME IV? Recently? I don't know, like 60, 50, 56, something like that. Yeah, it's also more liquid now, so it could go down quite a lot. Come on, lose 15. Yeah, there we go. more. What does Delta go negative here? 5,500? Oh, 55, 10, 11. It's kind of neat. VIX pushing up above 12 a little bit. Why is everyone surprised GME's moving? It's ETF FTD week. It still needs to get above 26 to move. Hmm. There seem to be other factors on top of ETF FTDs. What? Why? Something seems to be. That's ETF FTDs. They're all on the same fucking cycle. That's not something different. That's exactly what you'd be looking for. Super stock magic factor. Yeah, of course. Fucking Christ. What if there were a bundle of stocks? Let's call them a basket. What are you, the Easter Bunny? Whoa, don't out me. It's too late. What's going on with ES here? Is ES finding fucking support at 55.70? A little bit. More than I'd like it to. Mm. Charms turning a little bit positive again. It's 10:30. Who's the fucking call sellers? Supports at 510. Hmm. Hmm. Is 1700 a big resistance for AVGO? It should be, yeah. Do you see AVGO going back towards 1600 in the next couple of weeks? I don't see why not. Might go back towards 1600 today. Would you buy LMT here, or do you think it's too expensive? It's a little pricey. Probably not. Also looks like it's topping out. Ooh, gap down. Fill it back up and then dump. There we go. Oh, you bitch. 10. Let's see what's going on here. Still pushing up a little. They're still selling a lot of puts. Oh, I gotta see what Vega neutral's at now. Hold on. $55.32, so a little bit out of the money. Maybe I don't like that. Does cat look more enticing to you now? No, not really. I probably wouldn't enter cat now unless it got back over 35. The chains moved around quite a bit this week. Trying to reverse. Support for the downside's still bleeding out pretty hard. And 25 should be resistance to the upside. I'm getting call sellers coming back in at 20. A little bit of delta's falling off now. Cost is up 120%. Who cares? It's like a shitty penny stock. Who cares? Pelosi's an AVGO. I know, I'm long AVGO. What the fuck are you talking about? No guarantee she's still holding. True. Hmm. I get stopped out here if it breaks up. Particularly. Still going up. QQQ's getting a bit of a pump though. Shorts and MMs don't need a fucking options chain for it. It's on NASDAQ. There's an automated DMM. It's still got ETF exposure. Not a lot, but it's still got ETF exposure. Not to mention, every time cost runs, the fucking insiders sell more stock. They don't have as there's no ammo. Ammo's unlimited. If it has ETF exposure, they can make as much as they need. The DMM can provide liquidity as well. This isn't Rambo. No, it's unlimited. CNS. Where do these people come from? Wasn't there something to one of the basket stocks running that hard? It's typically meant movement in other stocks over the past years. There's something to it if there's a lot of market cap being added, but I mean, the fucking market cap of costs is like, what, 80 million right now? It's like nothing. Yeah, QQQ pumped hard as fuck on that. Hmm. Let's see. Out of the money calls. $420. Push to the prior all-time high. Let's see, we got what? 2 hours and 10 minutes left. Nope, it's unlimited. Maybe there's something about the word unlimited that you're not hearing. Unlimited. It is intentionally designed that way. I never got to ask, how do you use the outer bands of VWAP? I only use the single line that VWAP gives, but what do the outer bands do? I don't use the outer bands of VWAP. Does waiting in the ETF have any effect on operational shorting? No. Is it unfettered? It is literally an infinity pool. CNS ensures that's possible. What shorts? You're clearly delusional. I'll leave you to your stuff. I got it, Nuke. Thank you. Then could have excess selling pressure on higher weighted parts. I mean, are you talking about XRT? Because basically everything in XRT has roughly equal weighting. You know that, right? How high can UCO go? I don't know. I was kind of hoping for like maybe 36. Oil's pulling back a little bit again today. After pumping this morning. We have a failed IC expiring today. Put side is taken care of. But still have the call side, 5505, 5510. Would you manually close this or let it ride out after hours? I mean, if we drop below 5505 today, you can just exit it, right? I think you could have just exited it at market open before we moved up. Well, that might have been better than here, but we could still fail. Most of the supportive positioning is kind of falling away here, so it looks like some short vol is getting closed out on the chain, which may mean that we get a drop later on in the day. Might take a while, but having a bit of a time holding on to 55.15. Hmm. Sell pressure is staying pretty constant. Personally, I would like to see us test like 55.80 on ES. 83. Hmm. 55.30. We're gonna rocket past the all-time high again. Didn't we break it already? Oh, we're still like a dollar short. Maybe, we'll see. Hold on. Hmm. Do you think AVGO could hold 1700 before close? Possibly, yeah. 5583 futures, which is probably about 5530, the SPX. I'm really not that bearish here. It's just interesting if they fail to break above 20, because all of the calls to the downside got ripped out from underneath this. A lot of them took profit when the PMI data came out. AP create with share block, operational short. Acquirer uses stock needed for liquidity. Keeps or sells the rest of underlying in a block. Yeah. Operational short has to affect other underlying in the block. Well, no, because they can keep exchanging until the basket that they are creating just contains the stock they want. So, I mean, that depends and varies ETF by ETF, but for the most part, they can do a pretty good job isolating one specific stock. But if they're broadly just covering ETF FTDs that have been cash settled, right, then you're going to see movement across the entire basket. Biden's not my boy. He's a fucking human turnip. He's dropping out. That seems like a big deal. If true. I thought he was belligerently holding on. I don't see any official statements. I'm assuming though that your boy Trump, right? Since people in your world have boys, that would be the worst possible news ever for him. Odds jumped 55% on Polymarket that he dropped. Who gives a shit? No official statement. Have you checked Truth Social yet? Trump can't beat AOC if she does an interview with Hawk Tuah girl. Your boy RFK Jr. still in. He's got brainworms, But that's better than senility or various very dubious connections to Jeffrey Epstein. Aren't all of them just connected to Epstein? Yes. But which is your favorite? None of them. No, I'm not kidding. I truly believe our government needs to be destroyed and reformed. I'm not a strong believer in democracy. I think it's terrible. Why is that out of the question? I can just retire, dork. No, that's illegal. Oh, we bounced again. It's still a lower high. What if we don't get the all-time high? No, 5,400 by close is not reasonable. Hmm. Apple's back to positive. Phil VWAP. Ooh, Nvidia bounced super hard. Hmm. Interesting. Netflix is picking up a little steam again. Costco down. Maybe Geo failing. What's IWM doing? Flat. So we're losing breath, pushing dispersion again. Russell's back to flat. Dow's now down 21 points. Dollar found a little bit of support. Finally. The correlation's still driving up. One penny off of the prior high. If you think democracy is bad, wait till you see the alternatives. Some of the alternatives are great. Nothing better than the misguided popular vote of millions of morons choosing the direction of our government. I want an oligarchy where I'm an oligarch. No, monarchy is just one moron. I don't want to rule, but I'm not a socialist. Wait till you guys wrap your head around this one. Some people should have more votes than other people. A vote for every dollar you have in net worth? Ooh. We should just call those people companies. The poors would just die. That's not true. Not true at all. In our current system, yeah. But that's how it works anyway, right? All the power resides with the wealthy and the corporations. So, I mean, you explain to me how that's different. So the poors would languish on their couches watching Ow My Balls, drinking Soylent Green mixed with Brondo, possibly. Yay, new all-time high. Well, for today. What's the prior one? 23? $23.64. So close. Today is a half day. In the UK, we have a well-established idiocracy, which beats a corporatocracy hands down. Is this breadth? No. What do you think of Square? It's alright. I like it better than PayPal. Are you closing out your put? No, probably not. Might buy another one. Hmm. High was 55.23.64. Okay, so we did get a new high. And then the market just stopped doing stuff. Hmm. Is there any way that FOMC minutes this afternoon can be bearish without JPAL losing even more credibility? I don't think that FOMC minutes are going to be very important, right? Like, I mean, all the Fed speakers have been out in force already. I think everyone's pretty well aware of their opinions. What's up, popcorn? Yeah, I've looked at Denison. I don't like them. I don't like mining operations at all. Uranium mines take too long to spin up, and if there is a supply shortage in uranium over the next like 3 years, right? 3 to 4 years, um, miners aren't going to benefit from that, right? They're gonna have to increase capex to try to pump up productivity, which doesn't seem bullish to me at all. And I'm not really sure that Denison's output is even substantial. You're doing 77% in 5 years, 78% in a year. There's a lot of speculation around uranium. I still don't like miners. It's also like a penny stock, so I'm not sure it's like year over year gains really matter. Also, look at their net margins in the last quarter. They don't make money. So not only are they a miner, they're an unprofitable one. If I remember in the past, they've massively bloated their float through hundreds of share offerings. Any calls coming in above 25.30? Not really. A little bit, like 35.40, but not very much. The majority of call interest is still at 25. The weirdest part about this is every strike that's gone in the money is sold off super hard, and yet here we are. So I'm assuming these are all just short calls and they're being squeezed out, which would explain the rise in like spot up vol up that we got through here. Arby's files Chapter 11, and the parent company already has a Q in the ticker. When do we full port? Is Arby's going under? Who's gonna have the beef? No. Some very strong feelings in chat about fucking Arby's. The fuck was that? Hmm. Are we about to go tumbling down? Maybe. Support at 20 and 15 still, but under that, not much. Most of it's closed out. I'm used to like $30 from its all-time high. But ES did get the test I wanted. So ES tested the trend. Almost. I guess it's like one tick off. It's close enough. Well, dollar bounced a little bit. It's not rocketing back. Doesn't matter. Bond vol's getting up there. Hmm. Starting to get a little bit of a failure on the 1 minute. So, yeah, we might get a failure over the next like 10, 15 minutes. I don't know how far it's gonna fail, but we'll see. Any support that comes in, they're just gonna have to build on the fly, I think, if we lose 55-15. Is it dead? Dork. Cheap calls available now, since short day won't they have an easier time stabilizing by continuously buying? Well, puts are really cheap too. Is the SPX above VN? No. VN's like 32. IP of their Arby's secret sauce has got to be worth at least 3 to 4 billion. I'm pretty sure the ingredients are just on the packet, man. If Hilda from my local Arby's sees this, just know he'll be taken care of. That's beautiful, Bob. It's not weird that VIX is going straight up, right, guys? White House spokesperson denies Biden considering dropping out. Okay. Well, there you go. We got an hour and a half left. Is it a big failure below 20? No, it has to lose 15. What? Prediction: they short VIX, SPY rockets to 55, 120. Oh, SPY. Then tank closing near 544.50. Mm, maybe. I mean, they're definitely shorting puts right now. Although the returns are really shitty because the puts are all worthless. What's RSP looking like today? Up 7 bips. Wow. Dow's down 18. Russell's flat still. Yields are bouncing back a little bit. So's the dollar. Ooh, 1 month correlation's falling off a little bit here. And the yen's rocketing back down. Why VIX up? Well, initially, short calls squeezing. Now I'm not so sure. Like, I don't know why it's staying up. Could be they're de-risking short puts, but it's hard to tell because they're very far out of the money. I missed the second half of yesterday. What the heck happened? I told Dork to sell 54.75 puts and he didn't. DFE sold GME? Probably. I would imagine based on his initial cost basis when he came back several times in the past. What'd you tell Dork to do today? I didn't. Does that mean you don't know what happened? What, yesterday? The fucking short calls all squeezed out. They came in way too hard with the morning's data. And then they got squeezed when we broke 85. 54.85. Aside from the usual morning begging for ham flour picks, nothing really. We did spend like 30 minutes shopping for a Columbia fleece for this fall. Matching Columbia fleeces for this fall. Oh, we're gonna look so cute. I know. Oh, so boring. But we squeezed more short calls today, like right out of the gate. Pigeon Wheel platform shares, please. Interesting. I'll have my people talk to your people. Do you need matching sorrels too to go with your pumpkin spice lattes and all? It'd probably be a good idea. Yeah. It's always good to protect your feet. You out of your IWMs? No. No, the beta's not out. We're working hard on beta. Yep. Smile lawyer. Wait, are you serious? Why is this tie so wide? Does FSLR excite you today? No, not really. Why? GeForce mostly sits around and complains, but that's what makes him valuable. Somebody's got to, right? How many dogs are you grilling tomorrow? None? At least not personally. Who's buying puts on cat? My girlfriend hates glizzies with a passion. Yeah, but also tomatoes, right? Too much glizzy talk. She gets annoyed. Do you have a hot dog griller? No, I'm probably gonna go to my buddy's party. I usually go there every year. As long as he doesn't, like, fucking leave me stranded on an island or something, that'll be fine. She can handle mushrooms finely chopped. Okay. So I assume that the next thing you'll be making in your new house is beef Wellington? Ooh, glizzy Wellington. There you go. I need to buy a new oven. Oh, that sucks. Electric or gas? You should get a fancy one. Yeah, you should definitely get a fancy one. Absolutely. What fucking money? I don't know. Just find like an abandoned McMansion and see what you can find there. Hmm. Poor 1 month is doing some weird shit. Why is volatility up today? Is this because of the fucking FOMC minutes? NQ is so close to double topping. Is any of it being sold? For NVIDIA? Mm, there were sold calls at 25. Those are getting pushed off. Maybe the 30? But it looks like everything's really short dated. Hmm. Hot dog contest tomorrow might be less boring than SPX. Yeah, the upside's very grindy. It's not super liquid. There's just not a lot here. Surprised they're not buying more in the money calls though. I feel like that would be a good idea. QQQ still going straight up. Or NQ. Did RSP fail? Oh yeah, it did. Ooh, Russell's positive 2 bips now. Almost, yeah. Almost power hour. Hmm. Jesus fucking Christ, what was that? One second. Stopped out again. The actual fuck. Hmm. Where the fuck is NQ going? Excellent. NQ 20,500 next hour. It really doesn't follow any of the rules. How's the bond market doing? Yields tanked earlier today with the PMI data, but they're kind of bouncing back. Mm. Do these not work every time? set up correctly. That kind of worked. VWAP, do your thing, please. Maybe. Cost float's only like 5 million shares. I have no idea. No. I think its free float data is generally wrong. We should. Hold on. Total common shares outstanding is 9.23 million. Dude, what the fuck is going on here? Is that actually going by tick size though? Yeah, amount's doing pretty well. I know you don't care about costs, but what is happening? People are FOMOing into it. Trying to ride the dragon. What do you mean FOMO from what? Cost is up 253%, not 330. Just buy shares. Cost FTDs cause basket stocks to pump? Probably not very much. It's pretty small. Even at $18, right? That's not very big. Well, that's not quite VN, but it's very close. NQ's actually just going fucking parabolic. Is that VN? Hold on. SPX is 55.32.91. 32.06. Hmm. VIX 3 months a little over 14 today. It bounced back from yesterday's low. But it's not terrible. One, two, 10. Okay, it is setting them correctly now. Jesus. Dude, what the fuck is going on? Mag 7 are gonna be like fucking 45% of the S&P by the end of the day. But we're at Vega neutral now on the SPX. Like, we poked just above it here, 10 cents above it, and then failed. Back to 55.20? I don't know about that. What's the high there? 55, 32.87. Hmm. What do you think happens to the last 30 minutes? No idea. This shit's insane, though. Like, I get pumping into NFP and stuff, but there's, I mean, there's no breadth here, right? Dow's down 16 points. Russell's only up 11. Yet somehow NQ up 77. Healthy. It's on the back of cool PMI. That's, yeah, but like way too cool, right? And inflation's still elevated. It's like PMI prices are still up. They haven't fallen, right? But business is contracting at a rapid rate. Like it wasn't good PMI. The business business activity portion of the ISM services, we hit the fucking lowest level since the COVID crash. Like March of 2020. The importance of the yield curve uninverting is lost on the pickle jar. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, this is wild. We're gonna test VN multiple times. 30 minutes left. 32 minutes left. Also, the yield curve is far from uninverted. Isn't it common knowledge that when the yield curve uninverts, the market crashes? It's not. Yes, usually, but that's because usually the Fed cuts rates. There's not a lot of data points though. There's only a few. Is any of today's data bullish? No. Does it need to be? I mean, I guess ADP came in around consensus. Hmm. What's propping up the market here? Not much. Lots of zero DTs and huge amounts of dispersion. Short dated. Ooh. Alright, this gets kind of spicy. Futures finally found some sellers. It's gonna find a lot more if MQ loses 20,400. Did we test the futures all-time high? Or did we pass it? It's 55.88. So new all-time high on ES also. So not everything has a new all-time high. Except Brussels. I think they're shorting the fuck out of everything. All the puts. Would you do call credit spreads on SPX? Or it could go higher. It could go higher. I mean, VN can move. It's probably not going to go much higher today, right? We rejected off of it a few times there. But that doesn't mean we're gonna fall far enough for profit taking or to squeeze out the short puts. Now, if NQ sells off under 20,400 here, whoosh, maybe things could get a little spicier, which it did. Don't forget the MM's a buyer on dips. Hmm. Push tech, wait for breadth. Push tech, wait for breadth. But breadth isn't coming in, right? So it's just push tech more, push tech more. The only thing coming in is sold puts. They're creating a bit of a risk at this level of squeezing themselves out. But we'll see. There's not a lot of time left in the day, so they could realistically just try to prop it up into close. As long as they can hold above 25 without overselling the puts too much. Is Microsoft done becoming a $3.5 trillion company? No. RSP had an update. What was it, Monday or last Friday? I mean, RSP's been moving down. Here, look. This is on the daily. It's a fucking its all-time high was back in April. There's no breath in this at all. Yeah, they keep pumping their way out of it. And it's not gonna crash just because we hit a wall, right? We just trade flat until they can build more out of the money support, and then we can move up again. Do you have Gamma Max or Carvana? Yeah. somewhere. 131.33. McChuggets, welcome to Pigeon Whale, man. Thank you so much. Where is that? There it is. Is VSCO the next XRT squeezing art? That's not really how that works. Do you guys think they like go in order or something? All of the settlement settles out over a 5-day period. I mean, they could break them up, but they're not. Yeah, they don't like go in order. Very frequently, they're kind of all just occur at the same time. Sometimes you'll get like the bigger ones will run first, and then the smaller ones will run off like into the back half of the settlement period. But usually all of the covering happens at the same time. Jesus Christ, they're buying so much of the 25. I need to look at Friday's expiration. What's up? What the fuck is going on for Friday? Still building up a fucking shitload of puts to the downside. Oh, this is the wrong fucking stock. Welcome aboard, Nuggets. Chuggets. Sorry. I wish we had daily membership milestone chats. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Power Hour is a fickle mistress. 30 cents can turn to $3, but can a dollar can also turn to 15 cents, all in the blink of an eye. Yeah. It's usually it's usually how that works. Any clue why solar is moving again? Just oversold. Uh, I mean, spreads in Europe are kind of are righting themselves a little bit, and UST are dropping, which is kind of bullish for them. But I mean, I think FSLR more just the 220 support finally caught up. But it had a nice little bounce today, like 5%. What was that? Hmm. Is it possible to lose 25? I don't think so. There's so much fucking support at 25. It's ridiculous. Dealer wants it back at like 55.17. Ooh, nice. So used to half days feeling like I could have slept in. This clown market is hilarious. Yeah, we just fucking rocketed right at open. And NQ's been fucking unstoppable. Hmm. If you mod me, I could swear the SPX off a ledge. We're not gonna lose 25, I don't think. They're buying in the money calls on 25 strike like crazy. One more test of Vega neutral. Dude, what the fuck? This shit is so crazy. There it is. Hmm. Apple hit 3.4 trillion today. Meta's reversing off its low. Or should we go long Meta before close? So VN moved up to 55.33. Possibly. Although I don't think so. I think they're just overwhelming the market makers sell. Dude, there's not even calls at 40. What the fuck is going on? Is vol going up? No. Are they just trying to get like VIX under 12? Hmm. That was fucking crazy. Ding ding. All right. Let's see. So yes, formed a new all-time high. It was about $2 off of where I thought it might be. I'm gonna have to spend some time tonight figuring out the next possible upside resistance. But getting pretty close to testing the top of this broadening wedge that we're currently in. Volatility picked up a bit today. Pushed out the remainder of the sold calls to the upside. There's not much there above 50 55.40 as you guys could see last night. So from like 55.30 really out to like 5600, there isn't much on the chain. So that's roughly the end of the short calls. We pushed into, not only did we push into Vega neutral, but we pushed above Vega neutral into close, which puts us in a very weird spot going into Monday. The market makers should sell off a bit in after hours in order to kind of balance out their hedge. So we may see this drop a little bit into Friday morning, where we have NFP data, which is obviously going to be by far the most important data this week. We also have the FOMC minutes today at 2 o'clock, but the market's already closed, so the effect of that'll largely be in futures. Clearly the data doesn't matter. Yeah, it's pretty odd. I mean, the contraction that we're seeing in services is far too rapid, right? But we're not seeing an equivalent contraction in prices. And services prices have been really sticky, right? And so, you know, sure, it's good to see some actual economic contraction. But not only was services broadly in disagreement with the S&P services, like ISM was way off from S&P. But factory orders are plunging, right? Like those dropped 0.5 and 0.7%. Services business activity tanked, right? It was like the lowest level I think since the COVID crash. And prices are still really high. Prices are, I mean, they're not as high as the last print, but they're still up there, like 56.3, right? Challenger job cuts, like labor still looks really strong. There's no reason to think that if we pump here more, the wealth bubble's not just going to reinflate and then spark another round of higher inflation into the back half of the year. So VN's they're different calculations. But we got the updated one intraday today, and it was 55.32. So those are old calculations, and they're a bit different than these. Hopefully everyone makes it to Monday with 10 figures. Jason Bowers, everyone have a happy 4th. No DUIs. Yeah, get an Uber. Anyway, yeah, let's go into the other stuff. We've got most of the calls squeezed out. We don't have breadth coming in, right? We've got RSP actually slipping a bit into after hours, but only up 4 points on the day. And it's been, breadth in the S&P has been declining over the last few weeks, right? So we're not the other, 400 and 93 stocks are actually falling lower as more and more and more money is just flowing into the Mag 7. Thanks, Daniel Groves. Um, and that puts us right at about the trend test here. I think Gamma Max is going to be, well, we'll figure that out tonight after close because we're probably going to have issues with the early close. How can we just have a crazy day after crazy day? Can you spend some time with us after this market close, just going over what we've been seeing the last couple of days? Well, we kind of bottomed out on the like 54.50 level where all of the bullish risk was exposed, right? And call sellers got a little over enthusiastic yesterday with the morning's data and sold a shitload of calls from like 54.75 all the way out to like 5500, which then squeezed off hard on the bounce, right? And then today we got to squeeze off the slightly longer dated short calls that were above 5500, right? So the calls that came in last Friday when we tested our all-time high, all the sold calls from last Friday, which were sold mostly out to this Friday, just squeezed off today, right? They're fucking, they're done. But above that, there's fortunately not much. Happy Independence Day, America! Fuck yeah! Thanks, Navy Nuke. I mean, so it's not really that complicated. It's just generally hard to squeeze calls that are entrenched like that. I mean, it takes quite a lot of buying and vol selling to pressure those positions out, right? And that's really what's crazy is the amount of like leverage that they're pushing into trying to drive this up. Because I mean, yeah, they got a little bit of easing in financial conditions today, but it wasn't crazy, right? I mean, they're relatively the same as they were last week. And dollar started bouncing back right away after its drop, and we're still not getting any breadth, right? So new buyers aren't coming online, which means that the weight of all of this momentum is put into the hands of very few participants. And even with that though, they are willing to buy the fuck out of everything in the index. I mean, I don't even know what like total percentage of the S&P the Mag 7 is going to be at the end of today, but it's definitely going to be a new all-time high, right? Kenny, Jamie, Aladdin. Oh Jesus Christ! You guys spend way too much time on Super Stunk. Um, Commodities up a little bit today, and we did eventually get oil moving back up again. We've got gold moving up with the drop in the dollar today. We should see that continue. Gold found some pretty good stability. Um, right around its long-term trend here, and it's starting to bounce off of it again, which if it does break to the upside of this consolidation that we've had over the past few weeks, um, could be pretty bullish. I'll draw the top line there. And then we might get a new breakout on gold with especially with dollar going down, right? Because everybody's gone long the dollar over the last few weeks due to the scares over in EU about with the French oats and Italian bonds and German bonds, right? And then with kind of the rocky presumptions about the Bank of England and whether they're going to cut or not. And we saw some of those EU spreads get pretty out there. I mean, fairly close to like the debt crisis or last decade, right? And so there was a lot of fear there. That saw a big influx into UST,
right? And then, now it's possible dollars falling back, right? And if we get more indications of economic contraction, dollar's going to fall back even more. And so that's going to probably scare a few people into gold, and gold might get a decent breakout soon. Um, I've been adding to that little by little over the last few weeks, so kind of looking forward to see what happens there. By the way, the USD JPY shot right back up after tanking, and it's back at the 161.50 level. So there might have been a little bit of intervention in there somewhere, but it's hard to say. Correlation still just driving down like crazy. I think it's under 5 now. This is like a measure of um it's like the expected correlation between the top 50 stocks and the S&P. And so when it's falling over a 1 month period, when it's falling, there's a decrease in expected correlation among the stocks, right? So the stocks in the index are kind of moving independently of each other to an extreme degree, right? Meta and Nvidia still have room, nuts, yeah. Anyway, yeah, and we got a little bit of an uninversion in the yield curve today. Nothing crazy, but a decent move, right? The 10 years back at like 4.33. Um, Happy Fourth. Don't blow your fingers or end up in jail. You won't be able to buy puts in the crash on Monday. Not this Monday. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. Does the Fed factor in what the markets are doing at all? Or do they just look to the data they collect? I mean, no, they don't. I mean, they look at the bond markets, but I don't think they really care about the equity markets. Thank you, Castellasaurus. Um, Also, forward yield on volatility has still been picking up throughout most of this week. We have lows, but they're incrementally higher. Um, Bond vol has moved up a lot, right? Bond vol's really starting to pick up here, and that in line with a potential uninversion of the yield curve would be very very bearish, right? That's a strong signal that people are gonna dump equities and go long bonds. So we should definitely be watching the yield curve. I know Poopy Pants is just running around going crazy about it. I don't know if it's something we have to worry about just yet, but if we get like a rate cut or something, it might become a concern very, very quickly. It's the yield on the forward convexity of volatility futures. Kirk, I am immortalized. Yeah, thanks for ensuring that TLT goes to 60 now. You're like the chicken that runs around and says the sky is falling, but then it just goes higher. I will be a buyer then. Yeah, you and everyone else. So tail risk still tail risk hedging still falling off. Not much of the S&P really catching up, right? We still got 45.92% of the S&P is over its 20-day moving average. Everything else still below. And you can really see that here, right? If we look at like performance over the last month, it's all very, very concentrated into Apple, Nvidia, Meta, AVGO, Lilly, right? But broadly, finance is down. Even within tech, right? There's a lot of losers. And then you get out into the smaller components of the S&P, and basically everything's just bloody, right? Energy, utilities, services, durables, like consumer services, because the consumers fucking faltering. But you know, fun stuff. Also, the correlation between cash VIX and VIX futures is still slightly positive, despite all of this shorting. It's remaining positive, and I mean, this is a really long-term signal, but it's still showing that we're picking up more positive correlation week over week, right? And we have been for the last 7 weeks. So really since our bottom, we came out of our bottom in May, right? In the early part of May, we've been VIX and VIX futures are becoming more and more correlated. And over time, that generally means a shift in the volatility environment. Lastly, Fed fund futures popping up a little bit today on the PMI data and now pricing in 0.35 rate cuts for 2024. I always sell TLT before it goes 300%. You're gonna hang out with us for 3 more hours? Oh, absolutely not. Today's top puts us in another test of the long-term trend here on SPX, out on the monthly. Shockingly, I was really close to, well, I guess we still have a little bit more room on the monthly. 55.64. Why does that alternate? Huh. Is that adjusting somehow? All right, well, at least a test on the daily. Which gives us our higher high for the week, but we do not have a higher low for this week. So this could still be considered moderately neutral. And we'll see what happens Friday. I don't have high expectations for Friday. If NFP comes in hot and labor's still really strong, even with the seasonal adjustments, we're bound to see an uptick in inflation. And even if they can seasonally adjust that away for a couple of months, it's still going to be building in the background. And then later in the year, when the adjustments flip back, it's going to be like, oh wow, look at all this inflation. Enjoy your celebration of Treason Day, everyone. Oh well. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not going to be around tomorrow, but I'll see you on Friday. Paul Pickles picks out tomorrow night after I get home. Later, guys.
Kenny's Mayonnaise is a proud sponsor of Pickle Financial, so when you get a hankering for some creamy, delicious mayo after a long night of snorting, sweating, and pacing, grab some Kenny's.
It's yours?
No,
Your mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must
Must have what?
Look, Dad, it's not
Where
mine.
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who buy weeklies have children who buy